And welcome to a brand new week of Capital Talk, a program we hope will have an impact on the future of Kenya. Now more than ever, I'm Jeff Koinange. Our brand new week means a brand new theme. And this theme, we want to look at something we're calling, Where Are They Now? A lot of guests who you would like to see have literally dropped off the radar. They're no longer in the headlines, but they are out there, believe it or not, and they're doing some great things for this country. On the bench today is a man many of you, especially on social media, on Twitter and Facebook, have been asking, demanding, bring him back on. Where's the man with the 3 letters? We want his quotes. We brought him back. He was at the KACC, Kenya Anti-Corruption Commission. He was the head honcho. He tried to bring some people down. You know what happened after that. But he hasn't given up. He would never give up on this country, and he's doing a lot of work, especially in the region. He's back on the bench with his quotes. 2 words, sit back, 3 letters, PLO. Lumbumba.
How are you, Jeff?
Good to see you, my brother.
I'm very good.
Great to see you.
Yes,
and you are looking pretty good.
By God's grace. Yeah.
Because in this country, my brother, you just never know what's going on. 4 months, literally 4 months to the elections. And it looks like we haven't learned anything from the last time around. PLO, what is wrong with us?
You know, it used to be said of a community in the Middle East that they never miss an opportunity to miss an opportunity. Kenya is a country that for some reason never misses an opportunity to miss an opportunity. Nobody denies that we are the natural leaders in this region. But when you look at the political scene, if you read the newspaper in January, you could very well stop reading it and read it back in December. It's the same headline. The mobilization of the people is on the basis of the tribe. The issues that matter, education, health, and employment, are mentioned only as by the way. What is important is your ethnic extraction. How many members of your tribe do you carry to the political mortgage market?
Yes.
When a country operates on that basis, such a country never realizes its potential.
And yet, PLO, when someone like Peter Kenneth launches his campaign, he has a vision, he has 5-point plan, he's got everything in it. Very few pay attention.
Of course.
Because he's bringing nothing to the table.
No, he doesn't have a tribe to bring to the political mortgage market. Peter is my friend, and I know individuals who think like him, who would love this country to go to the next level in the 21st century. But that is not the kind of material that engages the Kenyan population. Yet, Jeff, I hold the view that if young Kenyans were to make a decision that they want to change this country and they refuse to be attracted by the ethnic low voltage warlords, then this country would realize its potential.
I like that. Ethnic low voltage warlords.
Yes.
But PLO, the balkanization of this country is what really worries me. You see the Kalenjin community balkanizing themselves around William Ruto, the Central Province balkanizing themselves around Uhuru. It's what you bring to and it's scary. It's scary because that's what started the post-election.
Absolutely. You know, Mwalimu Julius Nyerere used to tell Tanzanians, how can it be that in the 21st century, in the 20th century, anybody can begin to talk about the tribe as the basis of mobilization? You mobilize on the basis of ideas. Sometimes I get amused when Kenyans write letters to the editor and say, well, we are like the United States of America. We have presidential debates. We have all these gubernatorial debates. It is good to mimic others, but we don't have the fundamentals. If you engage in any debate with people from different ethnic groups, the idea is which tribe is larger to combine with the other so that they can win the vote. Kenya does not feature in the agenda of most of these individuals, and we know them. They have been on the political radar for a long time. And yet, as you rightly say, we appear to forget that the reason why we had 2007, 2008 is because people were mobilized and negatively sensitized on the basis of their ethnicity. But this amnesia, which is now becoming part of our political DNA, is one that must worry one. And remember, Jeff, that we have now devolved power to the 47 counties. And if you hear some of the conversations by the politicians in their unguarded moments, They think that the country has been federated. They talk of other Kenyans as if they were foreigners in those counties. And I fear for this country. I fear. The tragedy, however, is that the country is so polluted with the ethnic muck that voices of reason cannot be heard even in their purest tones.
Speaking of voices of reason, you at the KACC, you tried to stand up to these big guys. You tried to stand up to these warlords, and they cut you at the knees.
Oh yeah, I went to sup with the devil and that I did not use long knives. The wisdom of the occasion is that when you sup with the devil, you use long knives. And I thought I was a general who was singing a song that was nationally popular. When I turned back at the critical moment, I discovered that I was a lone warrior. The national tolerance for corruption and graft is so high that those who stand out to fight graft are the ones who are thought to be mad. And this is the tragedy. History has demonstrated not once, not twice, but times without number that a country can only realize its potential when ghosts such as those of graft are exercised. My fear now is that we tolerate anything and everything and we are going to devolve graft and we lose the opportunity to move this country into the next level. And remember, Uganda, Tanzania, Rwanda and Burundi are not waiting for us. Correct. They are not.
They're going to pass us by.
Oh, the choice is ours. How can it be that the same individuals who have been on the political scene for donkey years, whose combined life in government is in excess of 5 centuries, are the very same that we say will midwife the process of change? How can it be, Jeff, that whilst we are in the political wilderness, we go back to Pharaoh and tell Pharaoh, behold, lead us to the promised land? Pharaoh will always lead you back to the flesh pots of Egypt.
Correct. And speaking of the numbness of what corruption has done to us, PLO, look at what happened with the BVR kits. A small example, BVR kits, the original price tag for BVR kits was somewhere between 3 and 4 billion. Let's say on the high end 4 billion. Now we're hearing it could be in excess of 9 billion shillings. Nobody bats an eyelid.
I used to speak against it. They used to say he's speaking too much. But was it not right that when Herodias is having an incestuous affair with the wife of his brother, that John the Baptist must shout about it? Nobody speaks about it now. No. And Kenyans are not angry. This is my concern that we are seeing today. You read the newspaper, you talk about mega corruption, not only in Trans Nzoia, in the Harambee Circle. We hear about the shenanigans surrounding the BVR, and Kenyans are not livid. If it was other countries where people are concerned about the plight of their country, people would be livid. Those who are asking for salaries, the teachers would be livid. The police officers would be livid. The young Kenyans who are looking for employment would be livid. But because we have been hypnotized, as it were, by the python of ethnicity, as my friend Koigi Wawamwere would say, as long as it is my kinsman, he is a thief, but he is our thief. There used to be a song in Uganda about some mayor called Sebagara out of this ethnicity when he was accused of having stolen somewhere in the United States of America. When he arrived in Entebbe, the people say, others steal in shillings, but our Sebagara steals in dollars. So as long as the thief is yours, there is no theft. The country must make a choice whether as a country we are going to move to the next level and deal with ideas. New wine in new wineskins. But what we have in Kenya, new wine, new constitution, old wineskins. The skins will burst.
And that's why we're going nowhere.
No, that is why we will circumnavigate in the wilderness for a long time until the day that we open our eyes and open our ears and listen to the things that we ought to listen to. And the media has a role to play in this regard. Yeah. Particularly the print media. For the last 2 weeks, the headline in all the major newspapers has been the same. It's just interchanging this name with the other. Yeah. The substance is the same. How can the country possibly change?
Kingmaker this person with that person with this. You're right, you can interchange it every day.
Absolutely, and it's not about unemployment, it's not about education, it's not about agriculture, it's not about health. It's this group of elders. And there's now a deluge of elders emerging from each community. If you want your elders, you get them and you meet them and they tell you what you want to hear. Where is Kenya in this scheme of things, Jeff? This is the pain that some of us bear. but who will listen to us? Oh, there are no listeners. The songs that we have to sing are good, but nobody is out there to listen to them.
It's such a shame, PLO, because you guys were there. Remember the Constitution of Kenya Review Committee? You guys were there from the start. You saw this constitution all the way to its birth. The baby's out, the baby's suckling, but the baby may not even crawl or walk.
You know, I listened to a friend of mine who said that sometimes the plight of Kenya is like a lady who has not had a child for a long time. He goes out into the world looking for means and ways of getting a baby, and after she has gotten the baby, she poisons the baby. This is what I see in this country. For 20 years, we've been in search of this constitution. We now have it. We are strangling it by the day. And we, the Kenyans, are cheering as our misleaders, who masquerade as leaders, are doing it on our behalf. And what are we listening to? The tribal song. The tribal song.
PLO, any way you look at it, that's dangerous, isn't it? It's dangerous for us, for the country, for the future. It's all dangerous.
It is dangerous for this generation and generations yet to be born. And you know, our cup of iniquity is getting full by the day. It is Kriegler who told us that if we are not careful, what we saw in 2007, 2008 would be a Christmas party. It is not doomsday that we are predicting, but we are saying that we can already begin to see the signs that we saw prior to 2000, 2008. And I think the country is now more negatively ethnicized than it was at that time. And what you see in Kisumu, a little thing, lights, is a tinderbox. You go to Mombasa, there is a tinderbox. You see little vestiges of this in the form of terrorism in Garissa. The country is not sitting on very firm ground. We are sitting on quicksand, yet we have the ability to hoist ourselves from the quicksand to the hard ground and look at the economy of this country, the politics of this country, and introduce some hygiene.
Hygiene, PLO, and also voices of reason. I'm going to ask you after the break, where are the voices of reason? The PLOs, what you're saying right now, Kenyans need to hear again and again, hammer it into their heads until it becomes the norm. Where are these voices of reason, PLO? Because it is scary.
Yes.
It is scary, and we're heading into it eyes wide open.
You know, the voices of reason are alive and well, but...
Let's take a break, PLO.
Yes.
Good grief. I could listen to this man all day. PLO. He's talking from the heart and he's thinking Kenya first. Very few out there are. You need to listen, pay attention, call somebody, let them know PLO is back on the bench. And we are back in a moment.